Bitter melon soup with minced pork is one of those dishes that, once you try it, you can't forget. It's not just a meal, it's an experience, one that takes you through layers of flavors and textures, leaving you feeling revitalized, nourished, and deeply satisfied. The bitterness of the melon, paired with the savory depth of the minced pork, creates a balance that is both invigorating and comforting. There's something uniquely refreshing about this soup, as if each spoonful cleanses and rejuvenates you, making it perfect for moments when you need a light yet restorative meal. The first step in making this soup is to prepare the bitter melon. It's a vegetable that many people find a little intimidating due to its strong, bitter taste, but it's also one of nature's most powerful detoxifiers. The bitterness, far from being overwhelming, gradually becomes a character-building element of the dish. When you slice the bitter melon, remove the seeds, and scoop out the pulp to make space for the minced pork filling. The melon should be cut into thick rings, allowing you to create a satisfying bite in every spoonful. You can blanch the melon in salted water briefly to soften it and reduce some of the bitterness, or you can leave it raw to retain that punch of flavor that's so cleansing and energizing. As you prepare the pork, you want to make sure it's finely minced so it can fit neatly into the hollowed-out bitter melon. Season the pork with a little salt, pepper, and perhaps some minced garlic or shallots to bring out its richness. Some people like to add a bit of fish sauce or soy sauce for depth, giving the filling a slightly savory base that complements the melon's bitterness. If you enjoy a bit of heat, a few slices of fresh chili mixed into the filling can add an exciting kick without overpowering the delicate balance of the soup. Once the bitter melon is stuffed with the seasoned minced pork, it's time to make the broth. Start with a simple base, water or a light chicken broth, then bring it to a gentle simmer. You can add aromatics like ginger, garlic, or even a little onion to enhance the fragrance of the soup, as these ingredients naturally lift the flavors without overshadowing the bitterness of the melon. When the broth is simmering, carefully place the stuffed bitter melon into the pot, allowing them to cook slowly, absorbing the savory broth while maintaining their shape. The pork filling will gently release its juices, flavoring the soup and creating a rich contrast to the sharp bitterness of the melon. The bitter melon should cook for about 30 to 40 minutes, becoming tender but not mushy. During this time, the flavors meld together and the bitterness of the melon softens into something gentler, more approachable, while still retaining its detoxifying properties. Taste the broth as it simmers, and feel free to adjust the seasoning with a bit of salt or fish sauce, depending on how savory you want the soup. You can also add a dash of white pepper to enhance the overall flavor. The goal is a light, fragrant broth that supports the other ingredients without overwhelming them. When you finally ladle the soup into bowls, you're greeted with a dish that feels both restorative and satisfying. The bitter melon has become tender and infused with the flavors of the pork and broth, while the minced pork filling adds a rich, savory heartiness to the dish. Each bite is a harmonious balance of textures. The slight crunch of the melon skin, the softness of the filling, and a light broth that ties everything together. There's a natural sweetness that comes through from the pork and the slow cooking process, which helps to mellow out the bitterness and makes the soup incredibly drinkable and comforting. Bitter melon soup with minced pork is incredibly nourishing. The melon itself is rich in vitamin C, antioxidants, and other nutrients that help cleanse the body and support digestion. It's a cooling food, making it particularly good for hot days or when you're feeling sluggish. The pork adds a healthy dose of protein, while the broth helps hydrate and refresh. This soup doesn't leave you feeling heavy or overstuffed. Instead, it fills you in a way that feels light and rejuvenating, perfect for a detoxifying meal or as a gentle reset after indulgent days. What truly makes this soup special is how deeply rooted it is in balance. Each ingredient, from the bitter melon to the savory pork to the fragrant broth, plays its role in a delicate dance that leaves you feeling completely nourished. It's also a dish that invites you to slow down and savor the process of cooking and eating. The time spent simmering, the act of stuffing the melon, and the quiet enjoyment of the soup all encourage a mindful, thoughtful experience. This isn't a rushed meal. It's one that you enjoy slowly, appreciating the flavors and the nourishment it brings. When you serve this soup, it's not just about providing food. It's about offering something with intention. It's the kind of dish that feels like a gift, a wholesome, healing bowl that warms you from the inside out. It's a reminder that food, at its best, can be both simple and profound. Bitter melon soup with minced pork is one of those meals that gives you more than just a sense of fullness. It gives you a sense of being cared for, nourished, and restored.